Welcome back. I'm Caitlin with Wiregrass Daily News, and I'm here with Rapha Conrad, co-director, and producer of an upcoming documentary for the community. Good morning, Rapha.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
Thanks for coming in. Okay, so what is this documentary about?
So, first of all, I want to state the obvious. Why is community spelled with a K and not with a C?
I wanted to ask that.
So, the documentary is titled For the Kommunity, spelled with a K. If I spelled it with a C, then it would be a documentary about the series Community. Anybody remember that show?
Oh my gosh, I watch it like every week.
Yes. That's not what it's about. So, the story about this documentary is about the history and journey of the mythical beasts, not like the mythical creatures. I'm talking about the fans of Rhett and Link, who are legendary YouTubers and hosts of the most watched show on the internet, and in my own humble opinion, the best show in the entire world, Good Mythical Morning.
Yeah, no, I love Good Mythical Morning. I love Rhett and Link.
So
I follow them on. I'm pretty sure I do follow their YouTube page. I also follow them on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok.
So you are a mythical beast.
I'm a mythical beast for sure.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Wow.
So,
I could be interviewing you, you know?
You could be. So what's the documentary about?
So you'll see in this film the history before Rhett and Link started their journey, but then the birth of this fan base. But in this, you'll see it from the perspective of yours truly and all the fans from all over the world, including Rhett and Link's journey.
Yeah.
I've started working on this in 2020 in the middle of the Panini, Panasonic, Panera, if you know, you know. And throughout that time, I started to do some research. If you're a fan of Good Mythical Morning, this will make sense. Boop, 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 boop. During my research about it, because I'm also a fan of Good Mythical Morning, so that's a plus. But I started doing research about, okay, so how did this get started? And really dug deep about the history about it, because at that time I was a fan for 2 years and starting out with like, where did this get started? How did this fan base,
grow?
Came? And of course, how do they interact? And to follow up with the question about like, why is it spelled with a K, not with C? So long before Facebook, there was this website called the Rhett and Link Community. So that's where all the mythical beasts
and that one was spelled with a K?
Yes.
Okay.
So technically it's Link's last letter of his name.
Okay.
Community. So we thought it would be just like a subtle nod to the Rhett and Link community, but also representation of the fans. And of course, there's like this marketing thing about, oh, if you spell anything or have something that sounds like a k or ch, that's one way to get people. So this is why I'm the producer, But you'll see just journeys for the mythical beasts. I've interviewed more than 100 of them in person and online. You get to see, yes, archival footage, of course, little clips from Good Mythical Morning, and maybe some videos that were sent in by the fans themselves to be included in the documentary film. But during the journey, which I say is a journey within a journey, from 2020 till up until now, you'll see highlights, some landmarks, like in the beginning of filming, which 2 weeks ago was the 5th anniversary of the first week of filming for the documentary, which took place in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina, which is where Rhett and Link first met, where they started their careers, and of course, where mythicality was born. So it was just me with my camera in Bowie's Creek with a few other mythical beasts that came along. And just a reminder, this is 2020, during when traveling was very limited.
Yeah.
So
and interaction with other people.
Oh yes, but just during that time when we were filming in Bowie's Creek, visiting all the places where they went to school, where their first office was, that moment, that experience really just inspired me, like, okay, when everything is all great, to travel again and be able to interact with more people in person, let's go here and there. And you'll see places like Los Angeles, California, including where Rhett and Link Studios are located, Austin, Texas, where the first ever convention took place in 2022, Mythicon. And I also traveled to Nashville, which is a very momentous for both Rhett and Link because they performed at the Ryman Auditorium in 2019. And of course, I traveled to all over the places to find some mythical beasts, all the way from Las Vegas to Cleveland, Indianapolis, Atlanta, Orlando, Panama City Beach, and right here in Sweet Home, Lower Alabama. And yes, you'll hear stories, you'll get to see the history of the birth of the fan base and Rhett and Link's journey, and doing something a little bit special. And I don't think this is ever done in other documentaries, is incorporating things that are scripted or something that is like, okay, we're so used to like seeing interviews and all stuff, but where does this happen? There's going to be dancing in this.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, that is one of my question was what about this documentary makes it different from other documentaries? So dancing is probably one of those things.
Yes, yes. So I'm a professional dancer and choreographer, and the content that I've done in the past, right after I was introduced to Rhett and Link in late 2017, I thought, okay, yeah, I want to incorporate my years of being a professional dancer choreographer with something that I love, Good Mythical Morning, Rhett and Link. And I created these mythical dance covers, whether if it's tap dancing or doing hip hop choreography to Rhett and Link's music or recreating Rhett and Link's dancing. And if you just want to give you just a little bit of context about Rhett and Link's dancing, just think about it as Jim Carrey, Steve Martin, Martin Short, but just two really tall guys. One is 6'7", the other is, I know everyone is over this. Rhett is 6'7". I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. But anyway, so just think of like these two middle-aged man children trying to dance, and you have someone that's a professional. I'm like, okay, so this is how you see them dance, and this is me. So I thought originally before it became was the documentary right now, I was doing a series of dance videos to Rhett and Link's music because they're also musicians as well. And I thought, okay, these will be big productions. They'll have more dancers. It's not just me going to be choreographed. And I had it all set until dun 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 2020 came along.
Yeah.
And that didn't that everything completely changed. But then all's not lost. And that's when I started working on the documentary. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go back to the same idea of you doing the dance videos, dance films, but incorporating somehow or connect the narrative. And it looks very similar. So homework assignment, watch Rhett and Link's Wonderhole, because what they do is a mix of you're going to watch a vlog, you're going to watch a documentary, and it is completely different. It becomes very scripted. So, for example, in this documentary, you'll see probably an interview and you see a transition, and all of a sudden, boom, there is a dance film done to, I'm just throwing a song out there for some that don't know what it is. Let's just say the song is called My Favorite Pillow. And you'll see dancers dancing with pillows, and it's like,
This
okay.
is in your documentary.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because the dance films are inspired and created to Rhett and Link's music.
Right.
For example, I'm not sure if you've seen, there's this video called Dope Zebra. And it's just two guys in a zebra suit just doing the Running Man and dancing around.
I might have seen it. It's probably in there somewhere.
Yes, yes. But we thought about taking that one along with 6 other music videos or songs and reimagine them in some way where it would be like, if Rhett and Link did a cool Ariana Grande style pop artist concert or a music video that is like, worthy enough to get a VMA, what would it look like? So we thought taking the Dope Zebra music video and turn it into like this eclectic music video filled with dancers with like wearing like zebra striped shirts, and then basically making it so dope than ever. So you'll just see lots of different interpretations. Of course, I've choreographed them, but also got to give a huge shout out to Crystal Du Bois and Gage Wayne for also being choreographers for the dance films. There's 7 of them
within the documentary.
Yes, yes. And I think it's just a great way to give a little bit of a song and dance with, like, you just watch one chapter of the documentary film and then you get some entertainment within the way, something to be like dancing in your seat. But at the same time, it's a tribute to Rhett and Link's music because they have been around for like, yes, they've been best friends for now 41 years.
Yeah.
But their history, their journey of being entertainers is much longer than that. About like, I'd probably say 2001 up to now. So like close to like, well, probably when the film comes out, it'll be like 25 years.
Wow.
Yes.
I had
So
no idea that they'd been around, having their show for that long, which is crazy.
yes, they were one of the creators that right when YouTube got started.
Yeah.
They, along with Smosh and then any other OG creators, I mean, they were there, but you get to see a little bit of their history along with the Mythical Beast perspective about that and a little bit of a song and dance in there and a special experiment, actually 2 experiments that you'll get to see incorporating art, which is one of the important messages in the documentary film is creativity and art. And this, I don't want to give too much away. Just think of it as if you take fan art from the internet and put it out in the real world, how will that person who is not familiar with Good Mythical Morning react to it?
Yeah.
Or if someone who is a fan sees it, it'll be like,
Wow.
oh my gosh, I follow this artist on Instagram and all that, and I see it real life. What is it? I think I just gave it away, but the journey of trying
within the journey.
Yes, of creating this creative experiment. You'll just go see the highs and lows of that being done along with other journeys within this documentary film. So
And you've met them, haven't you?
Oh, more than once. A lot more than you could possibly imagine. I don't know if there's a limit of meeting your celebrity because I know they say, "Don't ever meet your heroes."
That
Lies.
doesn't apply to Rhett and Link, I'm sure.
No, because YouTube like, something about YouTubers are so different than because I've worked with celebrities and met a lot of celebrities before, but there's just something about Rhett and Link and other creators,
They're a
that
little more down to earth.
Oh, yes, because as a creative myself, I mean, I can understand about how you create content, and then all of a sudden your community is just so intrigued by it and such a fan, and that you just they're so genuine. I mean, I'm just gonna give you just a little bit of a backstory about this, about how I met Rhett and Link, 'cause it's going to be featured in the documentary. I'm going to film my interview very, very soon. So I started watching Good Mythical Morning in 2018, and 6 months later, I went to this convention called VidCon.
Yeah.
I knew that I was going to meet Rhett and Link because they have, like, a meet and greet place where you have to, like, really hope and pray you get to meet them through, like, this matchmaking thing about, like, "Okay, this is my top choice. I hope I get to meet them. Oh, yes, I'm meeting them." But while I was there, I was invited to be on an episode of Good Mythical Morning, which was taking place at the same convention.
Cool.
I, along with 2 other fans, were selected to be in the last round because it was a little bit of a competition. So I made it, and I was the only girl that made it through. And when I was taken backstage to do the second round, I don't get nervous because I'm so used to being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Because I've have years of being in film on stage. I got really nervous because at that time I just started watching them. I thought, "I am going to do something stupid. I'm going to eat probably like, something that's from an animal, or I'm gonna be, humiliated by I don't know, do something like you see on Blue Man Group or something, if you know what I did."
Right.
But when the crew started off with, like, saying, "3, 2, 1, action," I was taken in front of the curtain by one of the crew members, and then I hear, "Surprise!" Lo and behold, Rhett and Link are there, and I completely lost it.
Oh, wow.
If you wanna believe me, there isn't the episode is out floating around YouTube where you see my lovely little face in it, but I was so in shock, like, I didn't think I was gonna meet them, and they are tall, like I said, Rhett is 6'7", Link is 6 feet tall. I'm 5'7.5", and any guy that's like, you know, the limit is 6'4", that's not a problem. Anything above 6'4", I'm like, "Dang." But when I was meeting Red, I'm like, "You're so tall." Obvious. But then Link comes to me and asks, what I thought of him. I literally go to him. I put my hand on my head to his hand just to measure the height, and I said nothing but one word: average. And his face completely sunk, and I'm like, I screwed it up being
Yeah.
first time meeting them. But then you have to watch the episode because it ends up all great. And of course, after that, I met them the next day for the meet and greet. And then every time they would go on tour, I would meet them along the way. I also was at their screening for their series called Wonderhole out in LA.
Yeah.
And it just felt like, hey, good to see you. Hi.
Like they know who you are.
Oh,
now.
yeah. I mean, like, and every time that the fans, which every time that they go to the concert or conventions or screenings, and I meet their fans, which I mean, you'll see in the film, like, they are so down to earth. They're so unique, and they're just like so accepting of you, no matter what you look like, where you come from, where you believe. And I just felt like there's a connection with that.
Yeah.
And just meeting the fan base along with Rhett and Link, I just felt like I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
And it's just I tell them, the fans that just see my posts every time I post a meet and greet with them, is like, oh, I wish I could meet them. And I kid you not, every time that I interview a mythical beast and they have not met Rhett and Link, I tell them this: do not give up. And I said, don't ever meet your heroes is complete lies. You will meet them. And apparently prophesied that they were going to meet them, because a few mythical beasts they interviewed, they just somehow meet Rhett and Link. And I'm like, sometimes I was there documenting stuff. I was like, I got to capture this because I'm here with my little camera on my phone and I'm filming this. I'm like, this is going to be the documentary, but also I want to capture this moment for them because they're a fan for, like, who knows, a year, maybe long time. They want to meet their heroes because they made such a huge impact on their life. And I'm there witnessing this. I'm like, I get teary-eyed just thinking about it. Because I know the feeling of meeting, whether it's Rhett and Link or someone that made a huge impact in your life.
Right.
And then just seeing the fan, meeting their heroes that saved their lives or brighten their day, I mean, I kind of almost like gave away like the documentary, but
No,
but when you see the
didn't.
final spectacle of it, you're just going to be like so amazed by the fan base, so inspired by how Rhett and Link made a huge impact by them. Of course, you'll be entertained by the dancing.
Of course.
But
do you think that they're going to see it?
Oh,
the documentary?
Well, first of all, they know about it because you're going to be surprised.
Okay.
I interviewed Rhett and Link 2 years ago.
No way.
So they are in the documentary film.
Oh, cool.
So if you watch the official brand new trailer for the documentary, you see them. It's like, that's not from a clip from Good Mythical Morning. That's me interviewing.
Where can someone find the documentary whenever it comes out?
So this is where we are right now. We are in post-production. It's not out there yet, but our goal is to finish the documentary film before, well, originally it was supposed to be the end of this year, but as someone who is the producer and co-director, and I wear a lot of hats for this project, things change a lot, especially with like budget and scheduling, especially when you have a lot of people. It's not just me, because it started out with me and the camera, but now I have the choreographers I mentioned. I also have a few directors that are helping me with the trying to put everything together, editing, because for a director, you can't have to put on another hat of being an editor and a color grade.
Right. You've already got a full plate.
Yes. And so they're all over the world. Like I have some that in Canada. I have one in Australia.
That's super cool.
I also have one nearby the area that has been like helping me trying to get everything all set when my schedule is like, can you just take care of this? I'm busy with this certain things, like, so I have like an eclectic team. Eclectic is the word. All over the world helping me making this documentary film possible. It's a collaborative, independent project.
Yeah.
And especially collaborating with Mythical, to letting me come to their studio and interviewing them and sharing that, because I think that's one thing about creators, especially independent creators, YouTubers, that collaboration is key. And it really helped make this documentary film possible, because with what I do outside of the documentary and trying to work at the documentary, that is just like such a huge responsibility, trying to maintain you work in a documentary film, and then you have other things that are non-creative based, or then I also create content for other people and myself, and I'm slowly getting back into the dance industry.
Right.
So I'm trying to maintain that balance right there. And I thought, oh, I can do this by myself. But I had a little bit of a wake up call with my health, and I thought, I can't be like Supergirl and
Yeah.
do all this. So
Need some
I
help.
have to
Right.
rely on my team about it. And of course, we've had a few setbacks to slow down just a little bit, which I talked with my creative partner, who is also the writer and he's also the composer for the documentary film. There's going to be some original music in it, and probably in the score, you'll hear some very subtle covers of Rhett and Link songs in it.
Okay.
But I was talking to my creative partner, who was also my like dearest emotional support throughout this process. And he said, just like, you got this, just take your time. You're not in a rush, because if you try to rush it, the quality of it will just go flat, and do the best you can, because our goal is to try to finish it before, well, let me rephrase that. Originally it was supposed to be finished before 2025 is over.
Yeah.
But realistically, because of what we now have to catch up on,
Right.
it's probably had to be finished before March of 2026.
Okay.
But if we get it done before 2026, March of 2026, then we'll be able to apply for film festivals, which the deadlines happen during the spring. And if we get selected for 3 of them, we will premiere them in the film festivals.
Right.
Do some private screenings for an entire week, especially one of the cities will be taking place here,
Okay, cool.
because we got some local talent featured in this documentary film.
So where would it be filmed, or where would it be premiered here locally?
So I'm still in the process of trying to get the destination for that, but my toxic trait is trying to go to the next thing without finish what I've started. So I want to focus more on finishing the film, and then it goes from the funding to like the storyline, make sure that my team members know what they have to do and when they have to work on this task. I'm like, okay, the person who is designing the poster and doing animations, like, okay, make sure that you do this and then have this finished by this time. Or then I checking in with my composer,
a lot of work.
second composer actually. And it's like, okay, I need to check on the status for this one. And then of course my co-director up in Canada will be like, hey, what's your schedule for this one? So lots to maintain while I'm trying to, focus on the story. And of course I'm working on the funding for that, because as I mentioned, this is an independent project.
Right.
So we're not affiliated with a huge production. This is all coming out, like, I self-funded the majority of the film.
Yeah.
And I just focused on fundraisers, like crowdfunding, to make this possible. For the last one that we did, it was an in-person one, which took place in Adventureland. And which that experience, that moment really reminded me why I want to do this documentary film, because me and the Mythical Beasts from my own stomping grounds,
Right.
listening to their stories and then just supporting the documentary film is like, okay, this film can be done,
Super cool. Yeah.
But we still got to cover some funds for post-production promotion, including the maintenance fees to keep the website going, the store, all that good stuff, and then applying for film festivals in 2026. So we are still in the talks of like where to premiere, as in doing private screenings, because our goal is film festivals, private screenings, then premiere it on YouTube. Right now we're looking at November.
Yeah.
Which is great, because just keeping it inside, because as I always do working on the documentary film, next year Good Mythical Morning will premiere its 3,000 episode in the spring. And then later in the fall, they will have their 30th season.
Wow.
And of course, there will be some other creative ventures, which they will not say it until it's then, but that will just be at the perfect time.
Well,
to
now
premiere this.
now all of us Mythical Beasts have something to look forward to.
Yes. I have I've received a lot of messages like, oh, I can't wait to see it. Where's it going to be premiering? I'm like, we have to finish it first. Patience.
TBD.
Yes, yes, and of course, like, I kept saying, "Oh, it's gonna premiere this and premiering that," and I'm like, "Oh, well, we gotta finish this." Recently, I thought we were gonna do post-production, but then I had to go back to LA in October to film some last-minute pickup shots for the documentary, and, like, okay,
Yeah.
changes happen, but,
Right.
but
Gotta go with
sometimes.
the flow with some of these things.
And sometimes plan M or plan B is sometimes better than plan A, and boy, lots of different plans. Maybe plan triple C, I don't know?
Yeah. Well, this sounds really cool. The documentary sounds a lot different from other documentaries and something that Mythical Beast and people who aren't Mythical Beasts that might want to get interested in Rhett and Link will be interested in.
Yes, and especially with the message because it's not just, giving some insight about this fan base because we're all familiar with Trekkies, we're all familiar with Whovians, and especially with Back to the Future, there
Yeah.
were lots of fans. Then, of course, K-pop, like K-pop Demon Hunters and,
Yeah.
like football or I'm just going to say it, trashy reality TV. But this fan base, because it is a YouTuber fan base,
Yeah.
there is just something about them that makes it
A
unique,
little
even though
different.
it's not just very amplified like all the other fan bases. They're very small but huge at the same time.
Yeah.
And give an insight about that, how Rhett and Link made a huge impact to them and the world and my life. But I truly believe, and this is coming from someone who has done film and not just this documentary, because this is my first one, by the way. And, using my talents as being a content creator, dancer, choreographer, and collaborating with a lot of people helping make this possible. But I've watched a lot of films, especially for the past 10 years, when I was getting into documentaries. Like, I would rather watch documentaries or docuseries than just like a regular movie.
Right.
And sometimes, like, I would rather watch this is so ironic. I would rather watch YouTube videos than TV shows and movies because there's just something about the creators that bring.
A little more genuine.
Yes. And I do believe that with the content or even with the movies and TV shows these days, I think the message about hope and love and even unity is being lost because we're so distracted by what is happening with our world today and it's
Yeah.
brought into media. I mean,
So
there's
do you
not.
feel like your documentary incorporates all those things?
Yes, and, going back to what I said, because Good Mythical Morning is a place to escape,
Right.
because that's what it was like for me when I was going through my lowest point in 2017 and even lots of low points throughout the process of the documentary film. It was my source of escape, my source of joy. We need to have entertainment that focuses on that, but also shares that hope. And I was researching last night. I was looking at the film festivals of what we're aiming for to apply,
Right.
and I was looking at the selections for the documentary films, and I thought like I knew this was going to be selected, but then I look at it and just like there's nothing wrong with amplifying, but about what's happening with our world, share knowledge. I do believe we can make a difference through our media, but then at the same time, whatever happened to true entertainment? Whatever happened to the moment when you step inside the theater, you watch a movie like a documentary, and you come out of there and you say, that is not just the best movie, this is a movie where I feel like the world is going to be a better place.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do for this documentary. And I know, and I'm just going to say, people there's going to be some people, and this is just like the same thing that Rhett and Link go through with their content. They're going to be like people that will be like, "Oh, what is this about?" And there's some that just be like, "I love this stuff." I mean, there's like I said, this message, this film is going to be like a little bit different. Yes, I mean, dancing and all this stuff and talking about like YouTubers and their fans. Yeah, it's going to be different, but it's something about that when you share a message about unity, because that is what the world needs more than ever today,
Yeah.
is about
agree.
community, because we are not made to be alone. If we look past like what we believe, where we come from, what we look like, and look inside the heart, and especially some connect with something that we like Good Mythical Morning, Rhett and Link, and then go a little bit of a deeper level with
Yeah.
that. That's what makes this, like, stronger and better. Yes, we'll have moments we'll disagree, but there's just something that we can all agree on, and of course, caring for one another. Like, you'll see this in the documentary film. There is this one mythical beast that I helped along the way, went through a very tough time, but then when I was going through my lowest point, they were helping me. So there's like this sense of like, I help you, but then they're helping me.
Yeah.
And that's like, we need a more of like generosity and that empathy, that agape love this, and especially self acceptance, because and a lot of mythical beasts felt like they were, they didn't love themselves.
Yeah.
They didn't like what they'd gone through, but then after they watch Good Mythical Morning, about especially listening to Rhett and Link's journey and listening to the fans, and understanding the fan story, they're inspired to be like, okay, I feel accepted, but also I accept myself and
Right.
I'm willing to learn and grow through like anything I do. And that's the same with me. You'll hear it in the interview about how I went from someone who was trying to pretend to be something that I'm not,
Mhm.
but accepting more of myself and embracing my random self. My nickname is Random Rapha on YouTube, by the way.
Okay.
Very random, but of course, Rapha means healing. So I hope it gives you inspiration, no matter if it's on the internet or not. But just embracing who you are and living your best life. And also, you're willing to learn and take chances. I was going to say take chances, make mistakes, but get messy. But that, I think this phrase, be your mythical best,
I
is
love it.
probably better.
I love it.
And of course, art. I mean, like, we need lots of new art these days. Like, that's why I'm taking the risk of like the dance films. That's why I'm taking the risk of um incorporating Zoom interviews, put them into compilations throughout the documentary film. And of course, getting over my anxious self, interviewing mythical beasts that I finding the mythical beasts moments in the documentary film is so fun.
Yeah.
But interviewing the mythical beasts in person, asking them questions, I mean, it's so creative how
Yeah.
it's going to be put together right
Sounds like
there.
there's a lot in this documentary.
Oh yes, and I'm just going to say it right now. I don't know who's listening to this, that if you are a creative and if you think that there is no way that you're going to do a documentary film or even like starting a creative business or pursue your anything that has to do with like the creative arts. And just a little bit of a testimony. I grew up thinking that there was no way that I was going to create anything, even do much of anything, because of there were no opportunities. There was no chance for me to, you know, pursue my goals and dreams as a performer and creative and all that, because I come from a little big small town, shout out to Ozark, Alabama. But like at that time, there wasn't any opportunities for there. So, but I still had that hope of like
Right.
creating, and I kept at it. And even though that, like, I've done a lot within dance and content creation, but I'm not like super popular. I don't have like my content is not monetized yet. And I don't have a huge following, but I have a good following. I have a good inner circle. And a lot of people think I have to be this rich to do it. And of course, like, come on, as someone who's self-funded the documentary film, I have to live on paycheck to paycheck to try to fund the documentary film within 5 years and all that. But then, of course, you kept on going and then blessings come in. But going back to what I said, if people think that you have to be rich, you have to have a large amount of followers in order to make it through, or you need to have the fancy equipment. I'm just going to say with first thing, just start, create that thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I think Quentin Tarantino or David Fincher, rest in peace, said just pick up
Just
your
start it.
camera
Just
and
start
do
it.
it.
Just do
Yes.
it.
And that's what the same thing with Rhett and Link is, just that they had an idea and they just use what they have and they grown from it. And second thing that I want to say, first of all, create that thing. Second, you need to connect. You need to connect, whether it's the people that are going to cheer you on or someone that has different abilities with the creative um, talents as you, to keep on thinking. And that's the same thing with me. And the third thing that I'll probably say is create the thing, you connect. You have to believe.
Yeah.
You have
Absolutely.
to believe even when things around you just, like, whether if you're facing with it just seem impossible, you got to believe, and that's the same thing with, like, the documentary, is that you'll see some moments that they gone through some trials and tribulations for both the fan base and Rhett and Link and me, because like, I had no intentions of showing myself in this documentary film,
Right.
but um, you get to see and hear how and of course, with, like, the journey I went on, like, going through, like, across America
Yeah.
for, like, within 5 years and interviewing mythical beasts, like, you'll see the journey that I go through, but you'll see the determination for everyone, including myself, of, like, how you keep on going, and, of course, just a little bit of like what you hear because I'm recording voiceover for this. You'll get to hear what makes a mythical beast so special.
Yeah.
And one of the things on the list that says that they never, ever stop believing. They never give up,
I
you
love
know?
that. I love
But
it.
that's where mythical best comes in because mythical, I call it the holy trinity of mythical
Yeah.
mythicality is curiosity, creativity, and comedy or tomfoolery. But like you gotta be curious, you gotta be creative, and you just got to live your best life, laugh at it, even though you make a mistake, you just keep on writing, and that's, like I feel like I'm, like, embracing Rhett Link's journey
Yeah.
through this documentary, and I hope that all them I hope I make the Mythical Beasts, the fans proud,
I think you will.
and
Just hearing what you've said about the documentary, I think you're definitely going to make them proud. You're probably going to make Rhett and Link proud too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But thank you, Rafa, for coming in this morning. Thank you for telling us about the
Yes.
documentary. We're going to
Yes.
look forward to it maybe coming March or November.
Yes, and just, one a little bit of a reminder right there. If you want to support the documentary film, as I mentioned, there's fundraisers. You go to projectmythicalbeastfilm.com/donate. We do have an online fundraiser that you wanna donate. All donations are tax deductible thanks to our fiscal sponsor, Fracture Atlas. There's also gonna be some pop-up online fundraisers. I'm working 2 of them as I'm speaking right now. And there will be some in-person fundraisers here in Dothan, Alabama. I think we're gonna do one more before this year is over, and then we're
Okay.
gonna do one next year. And we're hoping to do some before the screenings happen. We're hoping we're gonna do some Mythical Beast meetups because I did
Gotcha.
some this year. So we're planning one to do one this year, and I'm just gonna give you an early invitation. You're
Hey, I'll be
invited,
there.
you know? So, but go to projectmythicalbeastfilm.com/donate to support. You can also support by, going to our shop where you can get, like, our merch, especially what I have right here. I'm not sure if anyone can see it right here, this lovely Mythical Beast friendship bracelet. How do they do the influencers where they just put it right there?
Yeah.
So proceeds goes towards the documentary film, and of course, if you are a small business or you're a creator or you just have the heart to give, want to be a sponsor, send all inquiries to projectmbfilm@gmail.com because the more the support we get, the sooner that we finish the documentary film so we can get it out to the entire world, you
I
know?
love that. I love it. Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Rafa.
you, and thank you for being your mythical best.
Yes.
Jazz hands.